Hey y'all! Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. And so yeah, I just finished another video that I was filming, so that's why you got this deep face and different eyeballs today. But wanted to come to you all finally with a cell phone update of my IUD. It has been about a year now, actually a year and 2 months. Yeah, a year and 2 months. And I'm happy to say that I still have my IUD in place and it has been working and my body's pretty much back to normal. When I say pretty much, I just mean other than the weird, like discharge I will be getting, which is normal. But it is something that was different for me. Just to kind of talk about it, so I got my IUD back in November 30th, 2016. And I was, ultra super nervous, and of course I did all the research in the world. And if you have seen my previous video, actually I will link that down below so you all can check out sort of my introduction to literally the day I got it done. I filmed, and the updates and everything. I was super nervous, and did all the research in the world. And when I finally got it done, it was actually a very awesome experience. But of course, there was still that nervousness of what's going to happen afterwards, and the whole process of getting it, getting used to it, your body getting used to it. I will say that it was a journey in some ways. I would make a lot of updates, even though I kind of forgot to make an 8-month update and actually 1 year exactly update. So I would say that it has definitely been a journey of ups and downs, but nothing in terms of it failing or anything. It's just more so me trying to understand what was going on with my body and hormonal changes. Even though the IUD, the Paragard, doesn't have oh yeah, that's the IUD I have, is Paragard. Even though it doesn't have hormones, I feel like for some reason, maybe it was just me getting older, but sometimes I feel like I guess I was feeling a little bit more moodier or whatever. But that also just so happened to be around the time I was PMSing, so it's probably the fact that I was PMSing. So but I would say that just the pain wise, I guess the pain and discharge were kind of the hardest parts of the process and getting used to it. The first couple months were very, very painful, but it wasn't anything, like I said, that was overly I couldn't walk or breathe or anything. It just was really annoying. For the most part, I guess my tolerance is pretty high, but I mean, nobody likes to be in pain, and it sucks. But I will say that ibuprofen, 800 milligrams, 600 to 800, really did the job. And then also using a heating pad, make sure you treat yourself to some ice cream, and literally that's how I got through it. So and don't do too many things that are extraneous, so that you're not making yourself sick or making yourself sad or anything like that. Yeah, so the first couple months were a little rough, but then around the 6-month mark definitely was when everything kind of got back to normal. And if you're wondering if how it went, yes, I did. My mom's in the other room, so so, but yeah, so it works. So I did have to say, I had a moment where I was like, but no, it's just because the discharge was around the time of my sorry for all the noise outside, but it was around the time where I think there was a moment where it was I was a week late for my period, and I would be getting the discharge all the time, and I was like, what is going on? And it was really scary. But I also just learned that, one, keep a fertility chart with you, whatever you use, the app and everything, and make sure that you're updating it constantly, because the more you update it, the more accurate it would be. And my chart just so happened to be off, because obviously I had just recently downloaded and started updating it, so it was predicting it based on a 28-day cycle, and my cycle is actually 40 days. So I will say, I'll actually link down below the app, or just put down the app if there's a link to it. I use Flow, F-L-O, and you can download that on iTunes or iTunes Apple Store, or I think Google Android too. You can use that, but that's the tracker that I use, and it's really, really good. And it's the more you put into it, the more accurate it is. So when at the time I hadn't really updated a lot, and so I was thinking oh no, this thing don't fail on me. But no, it was mostly just because that's something that, and I had known that in the back of my head. I was like, I've been experiencing these like weird on and off, like, you know, different colored discharge, not like the, you know, something too crazy, but like it would be like brownish red or like red discharge. And I was just like, you know, that's different for me because I never had spotting or like, you know, this like out of the ordinary discharge that would be like your regular discharge. But this one was more like, it looked like my period is about to start, but then it would be another 1 to 2 weeks until it started. So it kind of, you know, was something different for me. It was kind of scary at sometimes, especially around the time, you know, I did it. But I learned just to kind of, you know, obviously keep that tracker on point, you know, breathe, don't freak out. If you need to do things to kind of like confirm, then do that. But for me, I was just like, I think it's the IUD that's doing that. And it just so happened to be the IUD, definitely the IUD that had created all that. And even to this day, I'm still experiencing, you know, because I ain't got no man in my life like that. So, but even to this day, I've, you know, experienced like spotting, which was not something that was something I was used to before. I never spotted before my period. But yeah, so that was definitely different. And other than that, I don't know, like, I feel like my experience has been overall positive. And yeah, I'm talking for a long time and I'm probably talking in circles, but it's just because I feel like everyone's experience is going to be different. But my personal experience just so happened to be very positive. I do plan on keeping this until, you know, I decide to have babies. I don't know, I might adopt. I love babies, but they, you know, do things. For the most part, I think that this is definitely a great alternative to hormonal birth control. As always, there's going to be side effects with anything that you put into your body, but I will say that don't ever let those reviews, as I said in the first video, which I will actually link down below so you can check out my first like introduction video and everything. As I said before, everybody's body is different. Don't let those like reviews on, you know, Google or, you know, WebMD get to you, because those are real experiences and those are valid experiences, but that's not to say that's what's going to happen to you. It's just what somebody that happened to them. And when they say don't do it, don't get it, I mean, it's really up to you to decide, but just know that there are, you know, a lot of positive experiences that don't always get recorded, because obviously people are going to put out, you know, experiences that are out of the ordinary or not normal, or, you know, but you don't really see a lot of positive things, because people who do have positive experiences probably are not really posting it because they're just living, you know, regular, you know what I'm saying? So I hope that this video kind of shows you the positive side of it, and maybe helps you in deciding if this is right for you, or if, you know, if you already have it, if you want to still keep it and everything. You know, a good friend of mine just got it done, and, you know, so far she's been okay, she's been good. But at the same time, it's like everyone's body is different, so really listen to your body. I think this whole process taught me to really pay attention to my body and what the signals are and when to seek help. Definitely do get a check-in or check-up with your gynecologist or your doctor around, I would say, like 6 weeks in, just to make sure it's still in place, everything was good. I did have a moment in the beginning where I was like, I feel like it's not, you know, excuse me, I was checking the strings and it felt like it was like lower, so I kind of freaked out. Or I also, no, it was because I couldn't feel them, and I was like, oh, it's lost my uterus. So I definitely had one of those like scare moments, but just check with the gynecologist or your doctor. And usually what happens is, of course, the strings, they soften up, so it's very hard to feel them. This happened kind of closer, like towards like the middle of, you know, like 6-month period, and I was just like, I can't feel them. But sometimes they just kind of like blend into your skin and like eventually kind of, you know, become so soft that it's really hard to feel them. But they are there. But if you want that extra reassurance, it's definitely good to talk to your gynecologist or doctor, and they can just, you know, check in there for you and make sure everything's good. But yeah, I mean, good experience. If you all have any questions whatsoever, or if you want me to do something like a live chat or like, you know, Instagram live or something like that, and you want to ask me questions more in depth, I'm really happy to do that. I just, you know, want to see if anybody would be interested in that. I hope this video helped. like I said, I'll post my first video that kind of goes over my experience, but also just information on the IUD. It just goes over like the whole process, like literally detail from detail. I try to be as, you know, detailed as possible, and hopefully it's informative and helpful for you. And I'm also really super happy that a lot of people felt kind of inspired by that video, and, you know, it made them feel a little bit better about, you know, getting it inserted and everything. So I'm really happy that that created some sort of positivity for another person. So I hope to keep doing that. You know, hope to still be helpful and useful. But I hope this was fun for y'all for watching. And not too boring. Yeah, I'm going on like 10 minutes now. But I love you all so much. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And please, please, please let me know if you want to see something, you know, additional updates. For the most part, this is, you know, the 1 year, but I can always do a 1 year, 6 months, and a 2 year, just to let you know if I still have it and everything. But yeah, let me know down below how you feel, what you want, you know, what you want to see, if you have any questions. If you want to see a live, you know, chat or live stream of it, you know, of me talking about, you know, my experience and, you know, how I'm feeling and everything, I'm happy to do that. And as always, y'all, I love you, and I'll see you later. Bye.